Are you sensing a widening gap between you and your grown children? Maybe their calls are brief, their visits sparse, or family moments feel strained. What if the words you casually speak are slowly unraveling your bond? Today, we dive into 5 harmful phrases that many older parents unknowingly use, driving their adult children away. I will share insights from years of helping families mend these rifts, including the story of Margaret, a 70-year-old retiree from Boston. She was heartbroken when her 2 sons grew distant, their gatherings tense and rare. It was not until a candid therapy session revealed the surprising phrases she used that Margaret understood the root of the disconnect. Join us to uncover these toxic expressions and learn how to restore those vital family ties before they fade. Toxic phrase 1, you never visit or call me. This line might spill out when loneliness hits and you feel your kids are too caught up in their own lives to reach out. Perhaps their visits are rare, or their calls feel too brief, and you are left longing for the days when you were their world. It is natural to voice that ache, but family experts caution that this absolute statement can push your children further away. Consider Margaret, a 68-year-old retiree from Tucson. She cherished her son, Ethan, but felt hurt when his demanding job cut into their time together. During a call, she sighed, "You are never around or on the phone with me anymore." Ethan grew quiet, later sharing that those words made him feel guilty. Like his efforts to stay connected were invisible, he started dreading their talks, worried he would face another complaint no matter how often he called. Dr. Thomas Reed, a family counselor in Phoenix, explains why this phrase hurts. Using words like never paints an unfair picture, ignoring the times your child does reach out, it puts them on edge, feeling like they cannot win. Dr. Reed says this can lead to fewer interactions. As children avoid the stress of being judged, Margaret learned this the hard way when Ethan's calls dropped off, and she realized her words were building a wall. Instead, try sharing your feelings with warmth. You might say, "I miss you and love our time together. Could we find a regular way to catch up that fits your life?" This opens a door without blame. Margaret tried this with Ethan, thanking him for a recent text and suggesting a bi-weekly coffee chat. Ethan responded eagerly, and their bond grew stronger. By avoiding this phrase, you create a space where your child feels valued for their efforts, not criticized for their limits. Toxic phrase 2, your partner is pulling you away from me. This phrase might slip out when you feel your child is drifting, perhaps spending more time with their spouse's family, or missing family gatherings you expected them to attend. It is easy to point the finger at their partner, especially if you sense a shift in your child's priorities since they got married. But family counselors warn that this accusation is like a poison dart, striking at the heart of your bond. Take Helen, a 70-year-old grandmother from Charlotte. She adored her son, David, but felt sidelined after he married Laura. When David skipped a few Sunday dinners, Helen remarked, "Your partner is pulling you away from me, isn't she?" David grew defensive, and their calls became shorter. He later shared that Helen's words made him feel torn, like he had to pick between his mom and his wife. Worse, Laura felt hurt when David told her, straining their marriage. Dr. Emily Foster, a relationship expert in Raleigh, explains why this phrase is so destructive. It does not just criticize the spouse, it questions your child's ability to make their own choices. Saying, "Your partner is pulling you away from me," pits your child in a painful tug of war, forcing them to defend their marriage or their loyalty to you. Dr. Foster says this can lead to distance, as children may limit contact to avoid the conflict. Instead, try building bridges. You could say, "I miss seeing you both and would love to spend more time together. What is a good way for us to connect that works for you and your partner?" This shows you value their relationship and invites them to find solutions. Helen tried this with David and Laura, suggesting a monthly family game night. To her surprise, Laura eagerly joined, and their bond grew stronger. By avoiding this phrase, you honor your child's life choices and foster a family dynamic rooted in inclusion, not blame. Toxic phrase 3. In my day, we did things differently. This phrase might feel like a harmless trip down memory lane, especially when you are sharing advice about parenting, work, or lifestyle choices. You might say it to offer perspective, thinking of how you raised your kids or managed challenges in simpler times. But relationship experts warn that these words can create an unintended divide, making your children feel judged or dismissed. George, a 72-year-old father from Portland, loved giving his daughter, Anna, tips on raising her toddler. He often started with, "Back in my time, we did not fuss over screen time or fancy schedules." Anna would nod politely but grew frustrated. Feeling like George was criticizing her modern parenting style, she started dodging his advice, and their chats became surface level. Anna later admitted she felt her choices were being compared to an outdated standard she could never meet. Dr. Rachel Kim, a family dynamics specialist in San Francisco, explains why this phrase stings. It sets up a contest between generations, implying that today's ways are less valid than the past. When you say, "Back in my time, things were done another way," you may unintentionally position yourself as the expert, dismissing your child's reality. Dr. Kim notes this can make children feel undervalued, leading them to share less about their lives. Instead, try showing curiosity about their world. You could say, "I am curious about how you handle this. Could you share what works for you? And maybe I can offer what helped me back then." This invites dialogue and shows respect for their choices. George tested this with Anna, asking about her parenting apps and sharing his old bedtime routine only when she asked. Their talks grew richer, and Anna even sought his input occasionally. By dropping this phrase, you build a bridge to your child's world, fostering connection rather than comparison. Toxic phrase 4. After everything I've done for you. This phrase often escapes when you feel overlooked by your kids. Maybe they are not visiting as much, or their calls feel rushed, and you cannot help but recall the countless ways you supported them paying for their education, driving them to practices, or sacrificing your own plans to ensure they thrived. It is tempting to express that sense of being undervalued, but relationship experts caution that these words can create a lasting rift. Imagine Clara, a 73-year-old mother from Orlando. She worked long hours to provide for her daughter, Lisa, covering everything from summer camps to college tuition. When Lisa's new career kept her too busy for regular check-ins, Clara felt hurt. During one tense call, she blurted, "Given all I have done for you, is it too much to ask for a visit now and then?" Lisa grew quiet, later confessing that those words made her feel like her efforts to stay in touch were dismissed, as if she was forever indebted. Dr. Sarah Coleman, a family therapist in Miami, explains why this phrase wounds. It turns your selfless acts of parenting into a tally of favors owed. When you say, "Given all I have done for you," it implies your children must repay a debt, which breeds guilt or frustration rather than closeness. Dr. Coleman notes that this can push kids away as they feel trapped in a cycle where their actions never measure up. There is a better way to share your feelings. Instead of leaning on guilt, try something like, "I really miss you and would love to spend more time together. Could we plan a call or visit that fits your schedule?" This opens the door to connection without making your child feel burdened by obligation. Clara gave this a try with Lisa, and within a month, their conversations felt warmer And Lisa even proposed a weekend brunch. By letting go of this phrase, you pave the way for a relationship grounded in mutual care, not a ledger of sacrifices. Toxic phrase 5. You'll regret it when I'm gone. This phrase might escape your lips when you feel overlooked. Maybe because your kids skip a family gathering, or their calls are less frequent than you would like. It feels natural to nudge them with a reminder that your time together is limited, hoping it will inspire more closeness. However, family experts caution that these words carry a heavy mix of guilt and fear, driving a wedge between you and your children instead of fostering warmth. Harold, a 76-year-old grandfather from Boise, adored his son, Nathan, but felt sidelined when Nathan's new business venture left little time for visits. During a tense dinner, Harold said, "You will be sorry when I am not around anymore for ignoring me now." Nathan grew distant, later sharing that those words made him feel trapped, like every moment he could not spend with his dad was a failure. The guilt was so overwhelming that Nathan started calling even less, dreading the emotional toll. Dr. Patricia Evans, a family counselor in Spokane, sheds light on why this phrase is so damaging. It weaponizes your mortality, turning a natural desire for connection into a source of dread. When you say, "You will be sorry when I am not around," you place a burden on your children, making them feel like they are letting you down. Dr. Evans explains that this often leads to avoidance. As kids pull back to escape the emotional strain rather than face it, there is a gentler way to share your heart. Instead, try, "Our time together means so much to me, and I would love to make more memories. Could we plan something that works for you?" This approach invites your child to connect without the weight of obligation. Harold gave this a shot with Nathan, mentioning how much he enjoyed their last fishing trip and suggesting a short weekend outing. Nathan responded warmly, and they started planning regular meetups. By letting go of this phrase, you create a space where your children want to be with you for joy, not out of fear or guilt. Hidden danger of these phrases. At first glance, they might seem like harmless expressions of frustration or longing, the kind of thing any parent might say when feeling disconnected. You might think you are just voicing your heart, trying to bridge the gap when calls are rare or visits feel too few. But beneath their surface, these phrases carry a hidden sting that can slowly unravel your family ties. What makes them so dangerous is how easily they slip into everyday talk, often without you realizing the weight they carry. The real harm lies in how these words land in your children's minds. Take a moment to imagine how it feels to hear phrases like, "You are never around," or "Your partner is pulling you away." To your kids, these can sound like accusations, not pleas for closeness. Dr. Alam Mercer, a neurologist studying family dynamics at Stanford, offers insight into why this happens. He explains that when someone hears critical or guilt-laced words from a loved one, their brain reacts as if facing a threat. This triggers a stress response, raising their guard and making them want to pull back. Over time, repeated exposure to these phrases can train their brain to associate you with tension, leading them to limit contact as a way to protect themselves. This is not about your children choosing to drift away or lacking love for you. It is a natural reaction to emotional strain. Picture a garden. Harsh words, even unintended ones, are like weeds choking the roots of your connection. The good news is that understanding this danger is the first step to nurturing a healthier bond. By recognizing these phrases as triggers, you can start to replace them with words that invite warmth and mutual respect. For example, instead of saying something that feels like blame, you could express your feelings directly, like, "I miss you and would love to find ways to stay close." This simple shift can prevent stress and open the door to deeper connection, helping your relationship bloom again rather than wither under pressure. Transforming your communication style. Shifting away from harmful phrases is not easy, especially when they have become second nature over years of parenting. You might catch yourself about to say something like, "You are never around out of habit," only to realize it could push your kids further away. The good news is that with a few mindful steps, you can transform your words into bridges that bring you closer, fostering warmth and understanding instead of tension. Start by tuning into your emotions before you speak. When you feel the urge to use a toxic phrase, pause and ask yourself what is driving it. Are you feeling lonely, unappreciated, or worried about losing touch? Pinpointing that underlying need helps you express it clearly. For instance, if you are tempted to say, "Given all I have done for you," you might be craving gratitude. Instead, try, "I love our time together and would enjoy more of it." What works for you? This invites connection without blame. Next, practice a moment of reflection. Before responding in a heated or hurt moment, take a deep breath. This brief pause lets you choose words that build up rather than tear down. It might feel awkward at first, but with time, it becomes a natural habit. Think of it like tending a garden. Each careful word is a seed for a stronger relationship. Over weeks, you will notice your conversations flow more easily, with less defensiveness from your children. Finally, focus on sharing your feelings openly and kindly. Instead of a phrase that sounds like criticism, express your heart directly. For example, swap, "You will be sorry when I am not around for." Our moments together mean so much. Can we plan more? This shows vulnerability without guilt. Take inspiration from Joyce, a 74-year-old mother from Raleigh. After years of strained talks with her son, she adopted these steps. At first, he was cautious, but as Joyce consistently used warmer words, their chats grew longer, and he even suggested a family picnic. With practice, you can turn your communication into a tool for closeness, rebuilding trust and joy in your family ties, building stronger bonds moving forward. Building a stronger bond starts with small, intentional changes in how you engage. By choosing words and actions that show care and respect, you can create a relationship where your kids feel valued and eager to stay close, rather than obligated. Here are practical steps to make your interactions warm and meaningful, helping your family ties grow stronger over time. First, show gratitude for the ways your children do connect with you. Instead of dwelling on missed calls or short visits, celebrate the moments you share. A simple, "I loved our chat last week," or "Thanks for the photo of the kids," goes a long way. This positivity makes your kids feel appreciated, encouraging more contact. Next, honor their boundaries. Your children juggle careers, families, and personal goals. Recognizing their busy lives shows you respect their world, making them more open to including you. Another key is to make your time together enjoyable. Be someone your kids look forward to talking with, not someone they feel they must check on. Share light stories, ask about their passions, and keep complaints to a minimum. For example, instead of venting about your day, ask, "What is something fun you have been up to?" This shifts the tone to joy. You can also offer support without strings attached. If they seek advice, share it gently, and respect their choices even if they differ from yours. Finally, create new traditions that fit everyone's lives. Instead of clinging to old routines, like a weekly dinner that no longer works, suggest fresh ideas, such as a monthly video call or a yearly family outing. Collaborate with your kids to find what feels right. Take Ellen, a 71-year-old from Savannah. After tense years with her daughter, she started sending short, cheerful texts and proposed a quarterly brunch. Her daughter warmed to the low-pressure approach, and their bond deepened. By embracing these steps, You foster a relationship built on mutual joy and respect, ensuring your connection thrives for years to come. You now know 5 phrases that can harm ties with your adult kids and better ways to connect. Changing how you speak takes effort, but it can transform your bond. Start today by picking one phrase to replace with kinder words. Your kids will feel the shift, even if they do not say it. Share in the comments which phrase hit home for you. If this helped, like and subscribe for more family tips. Pass this video to others who might need it. Let us build stronger bonds together.